Hey, everybody. This is Chris
Hi.
Schwegel, CEO and founder of Infinite Skies. But it's not just me today. I'm here with my friend Mary. Hey, Mary, how are you today?
Hi, Chris. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here. So, first and foremost, who are you? What do you do? And who do you help?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Mary Komick. I'm a personal stylist for female founders. I'm based in LA, but I work with clients all over the country. I help female founders create their work to weekend wardrobe so that they can leverage their image to grow their business and their personal brand.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And I know that you use a lot of fashion psychology.
Yes.
And, we met in like a group coaching. We both have real estate backgrounds. We just hit it off. We both love psychology. But I got really interested in fashion psychology. What the heck is that?
Yeah. So fashion psychology is a newer field, probably came about more so around like 2008. But as a stylist, I got really into it when I read a book about fashion psychology. And it's really about learning how to use your clothes to influence perception. So, whether that's using your clothes as an extension of your mood and your personality, or using your clothes through the power of what you wear and also the colors that you wear and the messages that you're relaying to influence the perception of other people, which is why, as somebody that works with women who run their own businesses, I wanted to use fashion psychology principles like enclothed cognition, mood based dressing, power dressing, and color psychology into my practice of working with my clients so that they kind of have the secret sauce that no one else is using.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And
thank
what
you.
what kind of results have you found? Because I work with people and I work with women who raise capital for real estate deals. That's kind of the main focus, what a lot of my clients are working on now. How can I raise more capital? So how can someone use fashion or color psychology to raise more capital? Is that even possible?
Yes. Oh, love this question. Okay.
Nice.
So, when I, as a stylist, am creating, let's say, an outfit for a client of mine at like a pitch event or somebody that's going to meet, for example, for with investors and they're pitching themselves, the number one thing that I think of first over silhouette, over the price of what your clothes or anything around that is what is the message that we want to convey through what you're wearing. And that kind of comes down to the colors that you're wearing because I'm wearing purple today for a
Mm.
specific reason. The
Oh,
colors that you wear create a subconscious messaging within 3 seconds of you looking at somebody that come up with certain emotions, and also biological factors like raising your blood pressure or calming you, as well as giving you access to different environments. So, for example, when you're raising capital, you want to be seen as dependable, trustworthy, right? You want to
mhm.
also be seen as credible and an authority. But depending on your personal brand, there may be colors that you want to integrate into your outfit that can be as small as a pocket square and ties for men, because no, I'm not forgetting you. But also for women, it can be small accents and jewelry. Orange, for example, is a color of innovation, bright energy, but you don't see it a lot in personal branding. So if you want to stand out, you can wear orange. Purple that I'm wearing, it's synonymous over time in fashion psychology with royalty and regal elements, but it's also an authoritative color. You're drawn to it. Blue is a color that I 9 times out of 10 between shades and tints always use in raising capital because it lowers blood pressure. It calms the person in front of you so that they're able to focus and be present with you. I always like to say navy blue is a foolproof color to wear in any type of presentation or pitch, because it really commands the room. You get that credibility and that authoritativeness, but it's also something that really conveys trustworthiness. And in real estate, that's super important, right? So I always like to say wearing blue. There's colors that I would recommend in raising capital specifically for color psychology and making sure that you're creating the right perception. Red is a color that you want to use sparingly. as
Mm.
well as orange, because they're basically like big warning signs. Yes, you
Oh,
can be really passionate about what you're presenting or the new project that you have or the new duplex you want to build, but you don't want that to be representative in what you're wearing because you don't want your clothes to be distracting. So using colors, like I've mentioned, that convey the trustworthiness and the dependability are a great option. Instead of wet red, I would also recommend green, for example, because green is synonymous with wealth, with nature, and with being grounded
hmm.
just as much as brown.
Cool. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Super, super interesting. I feel like first of all, I had a few thoughts here. Number one,
Yeah.
I'm wearing a gray sweater with a navy blue accent. So I
Okay.
must be super dependable or a boring dad. Speaking of a dad, my daughter wears purple a lot, and you said
Oh, I
that's
love that.
royalty. So maybe I'm raising like a little princess. I knew that already.
Yes. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
sure she's treated like one. So that's probably why she's wearing it. Gray, I didn't mention gray, but it's
Yeah.
also it's along the same lines of green and blue as well as
Mm,
white, because white you can always look at it as creating a blank space, blank
mm,
slate for yourself as well as a neutral environment. Gray also has similar connotations and it's synonymous with very similar things to blue. Gray is also a calming color, but when you
mhm.
add contrasting colors, it helps it look more dynamic. So the fact that you have navy blue, you want that because sometimes gray can give you more of an overcast, just like the sky. And you want to make sure you have other colors to complement it so that there's more to look at.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Also, it's hard to say blank slate without Taylor Swift getting in our heads, isn't it?
Yes.
Like it
Especially
really
with the
is.
new album. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Well, this is so cool. I didn't know this. And the blood pressure thing really speaks to me. And I get that a lot because, money is a taboo subject. And so a
Yes.
lot of my clients talk to me about raising capital because they have limiting beliefs and fears in the past about not having a lot of money. And so their relationship with money is really sticky. It's really icky. It's not a very loving relationship. And so their blood pressure raises when they're talking about money, which intuitively you'd think would raise the person that they're presenting to. And absolutely, in fact, there's mirror neurons that it has a greater impact on your audience than it does on you. So wearing some sort of color to counteract that, really powerful stuff. Now, so far we've been talking about how colors like influence are the people that we are presenting to.
Mhm.
If I were to wear a different color, or some of the female founders you work with wear a different color, are they influencing themselves too?
Yes. So that goes into enclosed cognition in fashion psychology, which is really about using the energy of clothing to
Yeah.
affect your energy, those around you. So when you're thinking about your self energy, using colors like that are bright and happy, like yellow and pink, orange, anything, and as well as like royal blue, colors that energize you will affect how you present yourself in any scenario, whether you're filming content like we're doing here today, or you are meeting new people at a networking event, especially when you're in real estate, there's a lot of that going on. The colors that you wear affect your energy just as much as the comfortability that you feel in the outfit that you create. I think synonymous to the what you were talking about with the relationship to money, a lot of my clients that I work with well before we work together, I do talk about that with them. I say, what does it feel like to invest in yourself? You and I can both agree that you are your best investment, especially when you're
Mhm.
in the entrepreneurial space where you are presenting yourself in new rooms in front of new people, and real estate is all about making new connections. You want to make sure that you're putting your best self forward. And I know that I talked to you a little bit about this, but your style is your business card. And if you want to have a leg up on your performance when it comes to your business, and you want to kind of strengthen your relationship with money, investing in the way that you show up through your clothing, through your outfits, and through your personal brand is a really great way to do that.
That's incredible. And I think me and you see eye to eye on this, where a lot of the clients I work with think that they want to invest in email drip campaigns and automations and stuff like that. But it really comes down to, in this business, in real estate syndication, it's about relationships.
Mhm.
You're nothing without relationships, from investors to vendors to potential partners and things like that. How you show up matters way more than any sort of drip campaign or click funnel that you're going to create. And so that's really exciting stuff. I'm glad that we see eye to eye on that. Now, when you start working with someone, like, what are the basics that you would teach someone right away, like the first session?
Ooh, love that. So it depends on where they're at. I kind of work with founders from like pre-seed investment, where they're just starting their
Mhm.
business and they want to establish their personal brand, all the way to those that are seasoned. Maybe they're transitioning their industry or they're redoing their brand, something along those lines. So I get really clear on like where they're at in their personal and professional life. But the specialty that I do is I combine your personal and your professional persona into one so that you have a
Mm,
consistent brand.
mm,
And so focusing on personal branding at the start, before I look at their closets, before I shop for a single thing for them or tell them to get rid of anything, really honing in on their brand, meaning who they are and how they want to be seen, is super important, because it is all about how you show up. I like to tell my clients, like, you should never feel like you should be dressing down because all you're doing today is working from home, then maybe going out and running errands, picking up your kid and going to the grocery store, because you never know where your next opportunity, your next partner, your next referral, or your next client is coming from. And when you show up consistently as kind of using your styles as secondary extension of your personal brand, that is something that's incredibly magnetic to everyone around you. So I always like to say we start with your brand first, and then we use your wardrobe as a toolkit in your brand.
cool. That's really cool. And I love the fact that you are talking about like work life integration.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of talk now about work life balance plus side hustles, all that kind of stuff. In 10 years, we won't have that. It'll just be work life integration together. And so it'll be very difficult to separate our work selves from our at home selves, from our family selves, and all that kind of stuff. And so having a personal brand and kind of always having that on is going to be super, super important moving forward. I love that. And
I
boy,
love
you got me thinking about, like, I just leave the house in crud all the time. When I drop my daughter off at school, like, sometimes, like, she's in second grade, and I'm kind of a goofball or whatever. I'm the coach on the one of the teams, and so, like,
That's
some of the
fun.
kids know me, and like they poke fun of me because I'll just wear like joggers or
Okay.
sweats or, like,
Yeah.
like just Crocs in the middle of the winter. It's like, and it's so rightfully so. I'm gonna say, hey, check out this clip of Mary telling me that I need to, dress appropriately. So that's good. I've got
Yes.
a question personally
Mhm.
here. We're getting off the rails a bit.
It's fun.
I did a report in college about sweatshops, and since then, I've
Okay.
only purchased clothes secondhand. What do you think about that?
I love that. I'm all about integrating a sustainable approach to your shopping strategy whenever and wherever you can. As a stylist, I have clients who only shop fast fashion, and I try to get them away from that because of the sweatshops and the poor, inhumane conditions that many people create clothing and brands in. A lot of times you will look at something and you'll see that it's beautiful, or you really like the quality of it, and you'll look at the tag and see where it's made, and then you look at the tag and see what the price is, and the disparity between what somebody is paid on the hour in Bangladesh versus what you're buying it at Nordstrom is so high, and it's
Mm.
incredibly, incredibly disappointing to see as a stylist. So, I shop for a living every single day. I'm always trying to find sustainable brands, whether that's through leather goods for accessories and briefcases, tote bags, wallets, to sustainable fabrics. I'm a kind of a textile nerd. I studied textiles in college, so I'm going to not geek out here, but sustainable um, cotton, not nylons, which people are recycling what you used to think was only a synthetic fabric. Like, looking for any brand that says we use recyclable fabrics, that's somewhere that you want to invest in over fast fashion on either side, both men's and women's, where your clothes have a very, very short shelf life.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes good sense. And I think my clothes have a short shelf life, but that's probably because they're like 3/4 used already. You know, like
Yeah.
just
And it's also
I
all
was
about how you wash them. A lot of people don't pay attention to material tags and they'll just
yeah.
throw something in the wash. I'm like, that was supposed to be dry cleaned. I hate to tell you.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And dry cleaning, I learned from my accountant a couple years ago, is a business expense. So go ahead and write off that
Yes.
dry cleaning.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is a business expense. I'm so glad somebody else knows that besides me.
There you go. There you go. Now, before you talked about style and you talked about the word fashion, are those things the same? Are they different? Like what's the relationship there between style and fashion?
What I would say is fashion is the clothing industry and style is what you do with it. So the clothing
Mm,
industry and the fashion industry as a whole, they will present you trends, right, on a seasonal basis that drips into the clothing stores and what you see online. And style is your decision making process and the way that you make choices about what clothing you like to wear, what the message it sends, and how you either use trends or don't that the industry is feeding you. So, for example, what I would call fashion is like the old money trend that's been going around for about the past year where everyone's trying to dress like old money from the 90s. And in my
mm.
opinion, everyone looks like a grandma or a grandpa. Like it's not, it looks incredibly inauthentic that you're trying to dress like a certain class.
Mm,
If you want to dress to make money, you need to dress authentically to who you are because that's what makes money, not trying to look like somebody else. And that
mm.
is a key to personal branding, right? So that's kind of the difference between fashion and style. I've got lots of books behind me, as you can see, and many of these are about the fashion industry and style because I like to see the intersection between those two and where psychology has a play inside of it because
Mhm.
I mean, even as a stylist who studies trends and I look at what's happening in the industry, both in the current season as well as going into next year of fall and winter and all of that, it's more about how can my clients leverage this? What do these are these trends practical and functional for their lifestyles? How does this integrate itself into their businesses? I think about it that way, whereas the fashion industry just wants you to buy very expensive things.
Mm, mhm. Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you. And where is the intersection between I should buy something that um, you approve and is fashion psychology versus something I really like to wear?
Ooh, so there's actually no intersection there. Fashion
Oh,
psychology, one of the key kind of hallmarks of it is really about wearing things that light you up and that make you happy. So when you are
mm,
drawn to something, it's for a reason. Number one, it's probably because it's meant to be in your closet in some capacity, whether it's at that price, that specific item, or something that's similar. You can look at things for inspiration if they don't quite meet your budget, and then you can go buy them secondhand. But for as an example, like when I'm teaching my clients their new shopping strategy when they stop working with me and they want to shop like a stylist, what I always say to them is when you're looking for something, you want to look for items that are an extension of your personality. And the
mm,
reason why I say this is because mostly women, but men get caught in this too. They get caught in this cycle of buying the same items over and over again or very
I
similar
do that all the
items,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Buying a shirt in multiple different colors and saying that's all I need, but really how many of those colors are you actually wearing?
Mm,
You don't need to fill space in your closet. You want your clothes to be an extension of your personality in both professional and personal environments. So that's what I always tell my clients when they're looking to shop for new pieces, because then you will actually maximize the wear and most importantly, the cost per wear of those
mm,
items so they don't
mhm.
collect dust in your closet. When you don't shop from that place and without that intention, that's when you get caught in things like impulse buys. And you get a lot of tags hanging in your closet of things that you don't have any place to wear them because you're shopping for this ideal version of yourself instead of staying present.
That's awesome. That's
Oh, yeah.
incredible. Good answer.
Thank
Good answer.
you.
And I was just thinking about how I buy the same like blue shirt all the time.
Yeah.
And my wife tries to buy me other shirts, and like I'll wear them one time to make them happy, and then I just go back to the same old blue shirt or gray shirt, you know. That's funny.
Yes.
That's really
Men are
good. Okay.
creatures of habit. Men are definitely creatures of habit in their style, and I don't work with men anymore, but a lot of my friends are stylists. I have some attending here today, and the differences between men being creatures of habit and women holding more emotional places with their clothes and the story that their clothes tell. Men don't want to get rid of clothes because they don't want to buy anymore. They're like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, this is fine. This works. I don't care that it has holes in it. I'll sew something in. Whereas women hold on to clothes for emotional reasons. I always see the differences between that. And I think, you probably have great memories associated with your blue shirt, and like that's probably why the rest of these shirts are like, no, it's fine, I know this works, so I want to stay with what works, and getting out of that style rut can be difficult.
Yeah. The clothes that I have emotional connections to are like old shoes
Mm-hmm.
because I got them on some trip, or like old t-shirts because I bought them on a whim, or because I was dared to go to Las Vegas and I had to buy a new suit, and I was only given $9 to buy a suit. But anyways, we're getting off topic now. Thank you for describing this. So I've got 3 quick questions for you just about you and your industry. Is that cool?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. First, what do you wish people knew about your job or your role, or what you can do for them that people don't know about?
Ooh, I wish, I guess, and this is kind of my mission in what I do. I wish more people understood that their style and image is a skill set that anybody can learn. And once you learn how to hone in on your personal style and you build your image and your personal brand, that can make you money. That can raise you capital. That can grow your business. That can bring in new opportunities. The results that I have seen from my clients growing their businesses, getting new clients, having beautiful, amazing media opportunities, getting into rooms that they never thought they'd get into, meeting some of their idols, simply because of the way that they consistently approached their style and image and made it a part of their brand so that they became recognizable. That's what I wish people understood about the power of personal style when it comes to business.
That's incredible. Thank you. Awesome. And my neighbor Carol is mowing her lawn, so you might hear that. She mowed her lawn yesterday at noon, and so today she's doing it at 1.
Oh, she
So
gave you an hour off. I don't hear anything,
no,
so I think we're okay.
it's awesome. My wife and I take bets on how many days a week she's going to mow her lawn. I usually go with 6 days a week. Kelly
Is
goes with
that like,
5.
is that necessary? Shouldn't you just do
Uh,
it once a week?
we're not going to get into the psychology of my neighbors.
Okay. Okay.
Also, it's spring here, and so like grass isn't growing yet.
Oh.
But anyway, okay. Thank you for taking us through that. Second question: what pisses you off when people start working with you?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'm speaking about women specifically,
Yeah,
and not men. To preface this.
bro, I'm not talking about what pisses me off about women. You got this. This is all
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I would say the thing that pisses me off the most is, and a lot of what I do in the beginning, it's actually mindset work, especially because personal branding is mindset work. It's personal development. It's an extension of that. When you don't let go of your limiting beliefs around who you are and how you can show up. Most specifically for women, that looks like body image issues, because that's very common with women of all ages, especially moms that have had children. And I would say having, like, basically not getting yourself and not being fully present in the process of working with a personal stylist and a style expert to build the brand that you want and build this public and personal persona that you very much desire, because you're stuck in your limiting beliefs that you don't deserve to invest in yourself, that shopping for clothing is frivolous, that you will never look good in the type of clothing that you want to wear because it just doesn't work for your body type. But I do body type analysis, so they know it does in terms of what I'm recommending. I would say that being stuck in those limiting beliefs is something that pisses me off. But if you can't tell, as somebody that loves fashion psychology, a lot of my work is kind of like therapy. So I give them a little bit of tough love to get out of that and get into the next step so that they can really experience the lived experience of being in clothing and being in outfits that empower you to make incredible decisions and choices in your life.
Yes, that's a great answer. I love that answer.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to go to limiting beliefs and having more confidence
Yeah.
in what's going on. So you're talking about clothes, but you're also talking about what's going on inside you, in your
Oh,
heart, in
yeah.
your head, in your soul, all that kind of stuff. It's
Yes.
fantastic.
Thank
And a
you.
really good segue to my last question here, which is, if you could speak directly to the soul of someone that you want to help, what would you say?
The soul. Oh, that's so sweet. Gosh, what would I say? Um, that's so smart. I think I think what I would want to say to any female founder that just listened to what I was saying, and you're starting to ruminate on, oh gosh, wait, maybe that's me, and I'm not showing up in the way that I know I can, and I'm not putting myself in front of the opportunities and the positions and the investors and the partners and the clients that I could be. I would want you to know that everything you need is within you. The style that you want, the clothes that you want to wear, the outfits that you want to be able to put together, the skill set is within you. So you don't need to look externally for other resources other than somebody who's done it themselves. And that's why I do what I do, because I am an entrepreneur first and a stylist second. I work with female founders, but I also work in real estate for my family's business. So I live the life of female founders. So I know what it's like. So I think if I could speak to their soul, I would tell them the skill set is within you. You are completely capable of showing up in the way that you want to. You just might need a little bit of expert help to get you there.
Ah, awesome answer. Yes, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. I
Amazing.
love that. Great. Thank you so much for being here, Mary. Is there something that that you wanted to add or give or tell people what you do?
Amazing. Yes, thank you. So I'm giving two things, which is very
Mm,
exciting. I
mm,
have a color psychology guide that
ooh,
includes a lot of the colors that I talked about today, but even more, and what they mean and the messages that they have behind them, so that you can wear color in a more effective way to actually strengthen your sales. And if you want
mm.
that, feel free to DM me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to share it with you. And I also wanted to let everybody know that I am, well, the women specifically, I am taking on one-on-one clients for the summer for my signature program, the Work to Weekend Wardrobe. And I would love to help
Mm.
any female founders who want to leverage their personal style and image to grow their brand. So both of those things, you can find me here on LinkedIn. Chris, this has been so much fun.
You're fun, Mary. This is
Oh, thank
awesome.
you.
I'm really glad we got a chance to do this and connect.
I
And I
know.
love the fact that you are not trying to make money exploiting people and their limiting beliefs. You're trying to help people get through their fears, help people destroy limiting beliefs
Yes.
to show up authentically. And I think that was the word when we started chit chatting that I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm definitely on board with ways that you can use clothes to become who you are and to show up exactly how you should. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank
So
you.
people out there that are watching, please grab the color psychology guide and contact Mary to learn more about how you can work together. It seems like it's way more than just fashion. It's way more than just clothes. You can get clothes anywhere, but where do you get this level of expertise? Like body type analysis plus the rah rah go get them, I got your back kind of stuff. You can only get that from Mary. So
Oh,
Mary,
thank
awesome.
you.
You're a
So
legend. Thank you
sweet.
for being here.
Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun, and I'm glad I was able to connect with your audience and learn more about you. I mean, I had never heard of performance psychology as we mentioned on our last chat before, and I
Mhm.
think the work that you do and the holistic approach that you have to working with your clients and specifically in the industry of real estate, because I'm in it myself, I find it incredibly innovative and experimental and really really cool. And I think both of us work in arenas where you wouldn't think that these are things that you need, but it's actually the missing piece to the growth, right? So for those of you that have been on the fence for talking to Chris, head into his DMs today if you haven't already.
Oh, hey, turning it back around on me. Look at you
Yes, of
go.
course.
Awesome. Because that's the one thing that pisses me off is when people say that real estate is 90% mindset, 10% execution, and then sell you on the 10% execution. It's
Yeah.
like, now take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Wear more purple is what I'm going to start saying. Wear more
Yes,
purple. And hey, in Minneapolis around here, we love our purple.
that's
We love our
true.
purple around here.
Oh, I can't believe I
Prince.
missed that. Yes, wear
Yeah,
more
really.
purple, wear more blue, grays, neutrals, if you aren't already. And then check out my color psychology guide to find some other colors and shades and tints and all like that.
I love that. Awesome. Thanks so much, Mary. Hey, keep in
Thank you.
touch.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. We'll see you.